Welcome to my charcuterie cabinet. My name's Greg. Let's see what's going on in here. What I got now, got a couple of new things. A couple of things have left. Got a couple of capicolas, copas, gabagool, whatever you want to call it. Those are new. This here is a Goatborg. It's a smoked Swedish salami. I got one there and one down here. This here is a mortadella. Very different recipe than I've seen ever. It's because it's actually dried. It's not a emulsified mortadella, which is what all the other mortadella recipes I've seen are. Right here I've got some bydgoszcz. It's a cold smoked fresh Polish sausage. So everything else needs to get weighed up. See how it's doing. Let's go do that. First, I do want to weigh up this bydgoszcz. This is quite an interesting sausage. It's a fresh sausage, but it is dried a little bit before it's cooked. All right, these are ready to come out. I'm excited to try these. Set those aside. Be sure to subscribe and see this video. If you're watching this in real time, this will be coming out next week for sure. This here is a traditional pepperoni. It's different than the American style one I use for pizza. This is more of a pepperoni salami, whereas the other one is partially cooked, semi-dried. It's all kinds of crazy things going on with that one. This one is not quite there. The way I calculate moisture loss is I'll take the weight that it is right now, and I'll divide that by its starting weight. Minus 1. This has lost 33% of its weight. Could eat it, but I want it to get to at least 35, preferably 40%. So back into the chamber. Next, I'm going to check on these guanciales. This one could have come out last month, so it'll definitely come out this month. But it really hasn't lost much more weight. That's lost 6 grams. This is definitely coming out. And the other guanciale here, now this is at 23%. It's going back in. That smaller one's at 26%. It did lose another percent, even though it only lost 6 grams. But, all right, back to the chamber. Yeah, you might be thinking this has a little bit of a funny color. It's a little greenish, a little less than ideal, but you know what? Check this out. Once I take off this collagen sheet, it's looking pretty good in there. I'll vacuum seal this up and let it equalize for as long as it took to dry. And that'll be really good to go. What I got here is a pancetta. This could have come out last month, so see if it's lost any more weight here. You know, this lost 1 more percent. It's now 26%. I'm okay taking pancettas out at 25%, but as long as it's still losing weight and as long as I still have plenty of pancetta to eat, which I do, I'm going to put it back in. This has been in there 7.5 months at this point, but time is flavor. It can't get, I think it's just going to get better, so I'm going back in with it. Eventually, these pancettas and the guanciale, because they have so much fat, they just stop losing weight. But as long as I'm losing weight, like I said, I got pancetta to eat. I'm going to keep it in there. Now, these fatter ones are drying real slow. So this has been in there, same 7.5 months, down to 21%. Did lose another 1% over the last month, but back into the chamber. This one's the fattest. It's going to take the longest. It's only lost 17% of its weight. Really hasn't lost a few grams, but it's drying pretty slow. But that one's going to be packed with flavor. One more pancetta. All right, this one's at 24%. This did lose 23 grams over the past month. The last 3 pancettas I weighed up came from a big black red wattle mix. And that first one, the long one I did, and that first one came from an old Gloucestershire cross. All right, on to the Culatello. This is a prosciutto. It's the big muscle off the ham. This coating here is called sunya. It's a combination of lard that I rendered mixed with some rice flour. It slows the drying. Because it has the sunya, I have to calculate my weight loss a little differently. What I have to do is take the weight it is now, And then I'm going to subtract the weight of the sunya there that I added. And now I'm going to take that weight and divide it by its starting weight. Minus 1. This has lost 33.6%. Want to dry this at least to 35%. 30% is edible, but I want to go to at least 35, maybe 40%. This has been in my drying chamber for 7 months now. And this one is off the old spotted Gloucestershire cross. Here's the Culatello from the big black red wattle cross. It's lost 45 grams in the last month, or about 1%. It's now at 32.5%. Back into the chamber. This is the foco from that same big black red wattle cross. The foco is also a prosciutto. It is the smaller muscle from the ham. It's lost 26 grams over the last month. It lost basically 1.5%. It's at 36%, which, I don't know, I got to think on this. Could take it out, or I could let it go to 40%. It's looking okay. I think I'm going to let it go to 40%, see what that does. And if you've been following along, you know this is the oldest resident in my chamber. This is a whole leg prosciutto that I have very poor hopes for. I don't think it's going to be any good, honestly. I didn't butcher it right. It still has the H-bone. I kind of think it's going to be spoiled in here by the bone. It's been in there 21 months now. Still losing weight slowly, though. This has lost 18 grams over the last month. It's not losing much weight at a time. This has lost 38% of its weight from when it was originally fresh, and it's lost 28.8% of the weight after it came out of the salt cure. Because it lost a lot of weight because it gets pressed and salted for a little while. This one's, I think, a few weeks, almost a month, 24 days about. I don't know with this whole leg prosciutto if you're supposed to use that starting green weight or the weight after it came out of the salt cure. So I'm trying to take this to 30% of its weight from the salt cure. And that's going to be close to 40% of its original weight. And at the rate we're going, it's probably going to take like another 6 months. And I have a really bad feeling I'm going to cut into it and just find out that after 2 years plus, it's going to be rotten. We'll find out. I'm sure I'll know by the smell if it's not any good. I think I'll know by the smell if it's not any good. But anyway, that's everything in my cabinet for right now. Do have some new things. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see those. The only thing that really came out today is the guanciale and the Bydgoszcz sausage, but that was only in there a few days. Be sure to subscribe to catch those videos. Give me a big old thumbs up if you like this content. Put some love into the food you make. Peace.